What's going on, guys? It is your boy Jay Weezy. Welcome to Jay Weezy's World. We are back with another meal prep video. And if you like the video, I humbly ask you to go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, and leave your comments, good, bad, or indifferent. But let's go ahead and get this prep going. So we're keeping it super simple this week, doing salmon, chicken breast, rice, and veggies. So I'm going to walk you guys through my process, the what's, the whys, and the hows. And if you take away anything positive from this video that you learned, leave it in the comment section and let me know what you guys think. So first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is get things set for the chicken. We are going to use the crock pot this week. Put the grill to the side, switch things up a little bit. I like to go between the crock pot, the grill, oven, things like that. Just kind of switched up a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and dice up this onion. The way I like to go ahead and cut onions, I like to cut both the top and bottom first, and then kind of cut down the side for that first layer or two. I honestly feel like the first layer or two of the onion is tough. Obviously, the initial skin around it, but I'm talking about the second and third layer beyond that. Sometimes tastes a little bit rubbery or kind of paper. It's like a weird film taste, so I cut that off personally. Now, I'm cutting almost half of the onion, and what I like to do is I like to go along the natural lines of an onion and then cut down that and then kind of go against the grain. Now, I'm an onion person. I love onion. I love garlic. Grew up on it, so typically when I'm going to use the crock pot or I'm doing something on the stove, it's going to incorporate some garlic and fresh garlic and onion. Now, I'm not doing a mince or anything. I'm going to go ahead and do a rough chop with this onion. And then I'm going to go ahead and prep this garlic. Now, I don't know about you guys and how you guys get the wrapping off the garlic. I go ahead and take a knife or something where I can go ahead, put it on the side of the garlic, press down, give it some pressure. And what's going to happen is it's going to allow that skin to kind of pop off a little bit and you just peel it off. Don't worry if you smash too hard and it's kind of smushed. You're going to use it anyways. So you're trying to draw out that flavor out of the onion. So I'm going to go ahead and get the casing or skin off of all of these. I do like to put down some salt. This is something I mentioned in my previous videos whenever I'm cutting garlic. If you throw down some salt on the cutting board and you cut the garlic over the salt, it actually prevents the garlic from sticking to both the knife and the cutting board, because if you've ever cut garlic, it kind of gets pasty a little bit and it'll stick to everything, which is also one of the reasons why I'm wearing gloves, because I don't want my hands smell like onions and garlic. Wife went ahead and picked this up. I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys, because when you're done with the onion, the part that you're not using, put it back in the fridge, keeps it fresh. So the crock pot that I have is your basic everyday crock pot, nothing crazy. I've used it for years. Got this pasture bird chicken. I've had comments before on how much it costs, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show you guys, what the price is and per pound. But as you guys know, I'm a pasture bird fan, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to use it, whether if it's their chicken breasts, their wings, chicken thighs, whatever it is. So I'm going to go ahead and get these rinsed off and popped into the crock pot. And then, because we all know that chicken breast doesn't really have a lot of fat on it, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of this avocado spray. It is my favorite brand of avocado oil. The macros are great. So I'm going to go ahead and spray a little bit on it. And I'm going to go ahead and get my seasonings out. I'm going to go ahead and use some of that Himalayan pink salt, Cajun seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, turmeric, and some just regular pepper. For me, I don't like to use garlic salt. I don't like to use onion salt. I want to keep the sodium down as much as possible, just because really at the end of the day, it's going to bloat you. Oh, and cumin. I love to use cumin. I did a Chipotle hack like last year. They use cumin within their chicken at Chipotle. I feel like it gives it a good flavor, but warning, only use a little bit of cumin, because cumin goes a long way. So, don't put too much. Let's go ahead and dump this onion and garlic on there. And that's what it looks like. Now, I know some people put like chicken broth or bone broth inside their crock pot. For me, I do it sometimes, but that natural juice is going to be drawn out of the chicken. It's not going to be dry. I'm going to go ahead and set this for about 6 hours. Now let's move on to the rice. Now, rice, I don't cook rice on the top of the stove. Don't know how. I invested into a rice cooker a while back. I'm gonna do about a cup and a half of dry rice, and I do wash my rice. And so, if you're not familiar with that, if you're like, why do you wash your rice? It has a lot of contaminants, not contaminants, but dirt. Plus, it has a lot of starch in it. So this is what the first round looks like. Me, I grind the rice between my hands to really kind of get some of that excess starch off. And so this is what it initially looks like in the first round. And I'll do this washing about 3 or 4 times until the water looks like this, where it's clear, and I can go ahead and know that it's done. I'll pop a bay leaf and some of that Himalayan pink salt in there, set it, leave it alone, and then open it up once it's actually done. And here's the finished product. Nice, fluffy rice that I'm going to go ahead and put into a container, sit the side, and separate or portion that out later. For the veggies this week, got some green beans. Gonna throw that straight into the air fryer. Throw a little bit of that spray on there, and then season it up. Again, my basics: onion powder, garlic powder, some salt, some pepper, and then go ahead and pop it into the air fryer. Honestly, I like a little bit of a char taste. I can go ahead and put the green beans inside of the oven, stove top. I like to use the air fryer personally because it reminds me of eating at a nice fine dining restaurant. Maybe when you get those charred Brussels sprouts, which are fire, but I like to have that little char taste. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pop in some broccoli because again, I want to get some volume when it comes to veggies, so I'm gonna do both of these. This will get me over for the next 2 or 3 days. This is specifically for my work lunch. I'm going to make some additional veggies when it comes to dinner each night, but this is the finished product between both veggies. Going to go ahead and put that to the side and let that cool off. Got my salmon. What I like about salmon is that it thaws out pretty quick. So what you saw there was it frozen, and then unthaws in about a half hour, so it's pretty quick. I'm gonna go ahead and season these up. I don't put too much salmon in the air fryer once. You really shouldn't crowd an air fryer, that way it cooks evenly. So again, season up for the flavor. Gotta have the flavor on top of the salmon, on top of whatever I'm eating. I went ahead and added this jalapeno cilantro seasoning, which ended up tasting really good. So I'm just hoping to add that on there. And again, it's from a local company out here in Phoenix. So I'll go ahead and continue to support them. They have all kinds of different flavors, and this is the finished product for the salmon. Got a nice little char, and there's a little piece missing on one of the pieces of salmon. That's because I ate it. Got a little taste test. And then here is the chicken. You guys can clearly see the juice from the chicken inside the pot. That is not broth or anything that I added. The chicken would just do that itself. Nice steamy. And of course, you got to get a taste test. And of course, it was bomb. Look at that. So this is what the product looks like for my lunch. And then the salmon's going to go for my dinner along with some. So I got a half a cup of rice, chicken, the veggies for lunch. Appreciate you guys checking out the video this week. Like, comment, subscribe, as I said. Appreciate you guys' support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.